Summoning wind and rain, traveling through heaven and hell, casting magic spells. These things seem only to exist in novels and tales. But in reality, even in our modern time, real Taoists do have the ability to perform these magical arts to help others. Today we are honoured to present part 1 of the 2-part series featuring a legendary Taoist of our time, Taoist Hu, from the Kunlun School of Taoism in Formosa or Taiwan, who is also our association member practicing the Kuan-Yin method. Taoist Hu was born into an extraordinary family. His father and grandfather were both famous Taoists. They were experts in feng shui or geomancy, and in drawing mystic symbols and reciting mantras in order to dispel negative spirits. Hu was given the Taoist training since he was very young. His heavenly eye was opened at that time, thus enabling him to see the invisible worlds and communicate with invisible beings. In 1940, when Patriarch Liu Peizong of the Kunlun School in Taoism came to Formosa from mainland China, Hu was among the first group of several dozen disciples. He was only 19 years old then. Master Liu was an expert in astrology, geomancy, martial arts, Taoist sorcery, medicine, and a special method of foretelling. He was compassionate and helped all people regardless of their social status. He also trained his disciples very strictly. When Taoist Hu was still 19 years old, Master Liu once foretold his disciples about the coming of an extraordinary female master. He said that they may learn from that female master if they have affinity with her, and recited a riddle-like poem.
讲莲花出水，满天下，莲花出水，照成3000劫大千。伊讲朝日将我面前过，不测真地一心天。伊讲这莲花出水满天，后摆有出一个佛家的高人，你要出来度众生。 条条对我面前过是讲，咱师父伫你的面头前，你唔知这个高人啊。
Taoist Hu followed and studied with Master Liu for about a year. He was then sent out to establish a new temple and help those in need with the Taoist skills he had learned. His modest Minhu temple was built on a mountain overlooking the Minhu Lake that flows with crystal clear water. At that time, the Taoists as well as other villagers used to catch fish in the lake to earn a living. However, one afternoon when he was resting at home, the Manjushri Bodhisattva suddenly appeared and told him to give up fishing.
我本来我未收鱼啊啦，我拢在钓鱼，我这隔壁就实在啊，别人钓无我钓有啦，我水鬼啊，摕那个赶来互我钓啦，有一天。 都暗时特别困，文殊菩萨甲普贤菩萨，文殊菩萨、普贤菩萨讲，你时间到啊，哦，时间到啊，该换师傅咧，你佛道双修。文殊菩萨甲普贤菩萨讲，你吼唔好过去掠鱼啊，一日3、4千块，啊做工一日这几百块呢，哎，懵掠啦。 咱甲讲啊，你若唔听话吼，目睭要我切咩？
However, the Taoist didn't believe it because his eyes were in perfect condition.
我讲哪有世间有这代志？我会这切咩？你咧骗笑诶！我听话，一暗掠鱼啊，这要困的时阵吼，一阵乌安尼吼。 哎，你嘛想无啦？啊，无你歹来，我拢知影，我嘛有法度甲控制。一面刷就我甲你等你目睭咧，我听清楚。人讲，等来去 我绝对掠鱼啊！我讲我目睭都无啥看伊，我叫无啥林秘书看，林秘书的和尚甲讲，你目睭也无安怎，唔是要摕啥物药啊？我就无，都做咩无看啊？我就甲阮某讲，我看来去蔡眼科啊，保你。去蔡眼科讲，我就去甲地讲，我目睭他拢无啥看。伊用个药水甲我洗洗讲，我要摕3工药，我讲唔啊！啊，你也无安怎摕啥物药啊？我是心内知影啦，知影讲，这个做严重的，所以说伊就讲无安怎，我就转来。
When Taoist Hu returned home, he prayed to the deities worshipped in the Taoist temple to restore the vision to his eyes, and he would consider giving up fishing.
迄人要困，我就甲阮某讲，来，我袂晓写字啦，你甲我写写，我念无你写，写啲符啊像，啲香炉甲烧咧。我若时间到，袂使掠鱼啊！哦，你下南迄两我看，我真是咩？我就写写，即摆烧咧，甲讲，你时间到啊，爱收复咧。
Taoist Hu then burned his fishing equipment and ended his fishing career.
咧，为我上时间解手。拍人我嘛捌去拍。
Taoist Hu had a strong sense of justice since he was young, and helped out anyone being treated unfairly. Once, a friend of a friend asked the Taoist to inspect the grave of his father. The reason was that soon after the cremated ashes of his friend's father had been buried, something disturbing started to happen in his family. He had consulted a very famous geomancer. However, even after reburial, the mishaps in the family still continued. Arriving at the burial place, the Taoist took a look and said, Sure enough, upon opening the urn, it was full of ants. Taoist Hu then explained that when the deceased father was alive, during his marriage, he had an affair with a woman. She had 2 children. The husband and wife's actions toward the woman caused her to feel bitterly wronged.
这位太太到尾也带到迄2个囡仔跳海自杀，到今仔日伊的阴魂都还阁怨气未消啦。恁厝的财产是对倒来，嘛是对迄个查某的身上得到的啊。伊当时讲要共带入门，结果咧钱一得到了，就一脚踢走。你嘛知影这样代志啊？让迄个查某伫咧人财两失的情形之下，心肝硬，才来跳海自尽啊。所以。 阴魂才会甲你甜条条啊！啊，你迄2个兄弟唔才会起笑。
When Taoist Hu revealed this explanation, the friend's mother denied it at first, but finally admitted it.
即摆我知影我唔对啊，我应该安怎做咧？
你一定要行善，发慈悲心，食素食，安尼才会当弥补这段过错，化解这段恩怨。
The mother listened to Taoist Hu, and her sons recovered soon after. In this manner, Taoist Hu helped many people to solve all kinds of problems. After Master Lu passed away, Taoist Hu tried to find other enlightened masters to advance in spiritual practice. He had visited over 20 teachers, and each time he returned disappointed. Finally, he decided not to waste any more money and energy searching. He retreated into the mountains. After 15 years of practice, one afternoon when Taoist Hu was meditating in his temple facing east, he suddenly saw a sun appear in the east. How strange, he thought. The sun should be in the west at this hour. Why is there another sun in the east? Even more astoundingly, myriad rays of brilliant light emanated out of this large sun, and from each ray of light there appeared a Buddha or enlightened being. The appearance of these Buddhas in the center of the sun kept changing and transforming into other Buddhas. He kept watching the transforming Buddhas in the center of the sun, and then 2 words appeared, Qinghai. The The sun continued to emanate brilliant golden light, and the images of the Buddhas in the center continued to change. Finally, an image of an enlightened being sitting appeared. Although he had never met her or heard of her, he sincerely asked this transcendental image to let him know where she had come from and which Buddha she was. She told him that she would come to visit him in 3 days. He was very puzzled, since he was always in retreat in the mountains and seldom ventured into the outside world. He could not imagine how this master, who had never seen him before, would be able to find him. But as it turned out, on the 3rd day, Supreme Master Qinghai and a few disciples came to the village and visited Taoist Hu. As she arrived at the remote small temple, Taoist Hu welcomed Supreme Master Qinghai by beating the big drum and ringing the big temple bell in a gesture of highest respect. The meeting marked the beginning of a strong renewed affinity and many remarkable supernatural events for Taoist Hu.
佢就直直甲講，修什麼派我攏甲講，我甲講師父東南西北我攏修過，我修足濟，我即話吼，莫講我無去拜師啊啦，我就拜崑崙人，從崑崙人，尾了，師父就講好修練，伊就甲講，小道場已經開幕啊。
When Taoist Hu visited the Shihu Center, he also received initiation into the Kuan-Yin method. At the initiation session, when he was sitting with others waiting for Supreme Master Qinghai to arrive, he closed his eyes and meditated. Suddenly, he had a vision of a scene that made him shed agonized tears. In the vision, he saw the debtors of the new initiates appear to collect what was owed to them, according to the law of karma. He also saw Supreme Master Qinghai's transcendental form, giving people initiation, and paying off their bad bitter karma for them.
Taiwan 世間嘅修行人無像你這自卑，咱師嘛則是講，真的啦，先不要這樣做啦。
During a 1991 lecture at Harvard University in the United States, Supreme Master Qinghai explained the suffering and sacrifice of true masters for humankind.
Because whenever a living master is on earth, the master takes on some of the karma of the people, especially those who believe in the master, and especially those who are disciples of the master. And their karma has to be worked out. Therefore, the master suffers for the disciples and for mankind at large.
Kind-hearted viewers, we enjoyed your presence today. Coming up next is our noble lineage after noteworthy news here on Supreme Master Television. May your days be filled with divine love and light.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/AJAR.